You know, people look at this image and they see evil, horns, fire, darkness. They stop asking questions before they've even begun. But symbols have always frightened those who refuse to understand them. Baphomet was never interesting to me because of horror. It was interesting because of contradiction. Light and darkness, masculine and feminine, mercy and wrath, creation and destruction. Not enemies, but two halves of the same existence. And that's what today's story is really about. Not religion, not occultism, not mythology. It's about a person, someone whose life reminds me that human beings aren't made from one emotion. They're made from hundreds. Some beautiful, some terrifying, some that shouldn't exist together, yet somehow do. Sherry's life has always reminded me of that statue. Not because she's perfect, not because she's broken, but because she contains opposites. One moment, gentle, compassionate, the type of person who wants everyone around her to smile. The next, angry, afraid, protective, lashing out at the world because somewhere along the line, the world taught her that pain arrives before kindness. Many people spend their entire lives pretending they only have one side. I'm always good. I'm always strong. I never hate. I never fear. No, that's not honesty. That's performance. Real people are contradictions, and pretending otherwise doesn't heal anyone. Love. There's an idea that suffering automatically makes someone wiser. I don't believe that. Pain isn't a requirement for wisdom. Children shouldn't have to suffer to become compassionate. People shouldn't have to be traumatized to become understanding. A peaceful life is not a lesser life. If anything, it's the life every child deserves. Pain is not a teacher we should worship. It's simply one teacher among many. Sometimes a cruel one. Sometimes one we never asked for. But here's the difficult truth. Even if pain isn't necessary, once it exists, it still changes us. Sometimes for the worse, sometimes for the better, sometimes for both. Sherry didn't become who she is because pain was magical. She became who she is because she survived it. There's a difference. Pain can destroy someone. Survival is what creates meaning afterward. Think about fire. Fire burns forests. Fire kills. Fire consumes. But after enough time, new growth appears. Not because the fire was good, not because destruction was beautiful, but because life has an incredible ability to grow after devastation. That's resilience. Not glorifying the fire, growing despite it. People often ask, which version of someone is the real one? The kind one? Or the angry one? The gentle one? Or the frightened one? The answer is uncomfortable. They're all real. Human beings aren't one photograph. We're entire films. Thousands of moments. Thousands of decisions. Thousands of reactions. Some of our best moments. Some of our worst. And if someone only judges us by one chapter, they'll never understand the entire story. And that's another reason I think about Baphomet. The image isn't asking us to choose one side. It's asking us to acknowledge both. Ignoring darkness doesn't eliminate it. Understanding it gives us a chance to keep it from controlling us. There's a difference. Every person has anger. Every person has jealousy. Every person has fear. The question isn't whether those emotions exist. The question is, what do we do with them? Do they become prisons or warnings? Do they become excuses or opportunities to change? I think many people fear their own darkness more than anyone else's. Because if they admit it's there, they'll have to confront it. That's frightening. It's easier to pretend, easier to point at someone else, easier to say, they're the monster, than to admit, so am I sometimes. Not literally, but emotionally. We've all said things we regret. We've all hurt someone. We've all failed to become the person we wanted to be. That doesn't define us forever. But pretending it never happened prevents growth. The light inside someone isn't proven by never making mistakes. It's proven by choosing differently after recognizing them. That's where character begins. Not perfection, choice, caution. Some people hear the word duality and assume it means hypocrisy. I don't. Duality simply means complexity. You can love someone and still be angry with them. You can forgive without forgetting. You can be courageous while terrified. Those things can exist together. Human beings aren't simple equations. Cherry taught me something without ever trying to. She showed me that survival often looks messy. Movies tell us healing is dramatic. One speech, one hug, one breakthrough. Then the credits roll. Reality isn't like that. Healing repeats itself. Again and again. Some days are victories. Some days feel like starting over. Neither erases the other. I don't think darkness should be celebrated. But I also don't think it should be denied. Because denied darkness becomes unconscious darkness. And unconscious darkness is dangerous. Awareness creates responsibility. Responsibility creates change. Imagine carrying two wolves inside you. One filled with compassion, one filled with rage. Most people know the old story. The one you feed wins. But life isn't always that simple. Sometimes the angry wolf exists because it protected you once. Maybe when you were young. Maybe when nobody else did. So instead of killing that wolf, perhaps we teach it that the battle has changed. That not every day is war. That not every stranger is an enemy. That survival doesn't always require claws. Growth isn't erasing yourself. Growth is retraining yourself. When I look at the symbolism of Baphomet, I don't see an invitation toward darkness. I see a reminder that balance is difficult, that denying half of yourself creates imbalance, but understanding yourself creates freedom, freedom to choose, freedom to become better, freedom to stop repeating yesterday. If you've lived through painful experiences, don't convince yourself they were required. You deserved peace. You deserved safety. You deserved love. The fact that those things may have been absent doesn't mean they were supposed to be. But if those experiences taught you compassion, patience, empathy, don't throw those lessons away either. Carry the wisdom. Leave the suffering behind. They are not the same thing. The goal isn't to become a creature of light, nor a creature of darkness. The goal is to become fully human. Someone who recognizes fear without surrendering to it. Someone who recognizes anger without living inside it. Someone who recognizes pain without becoming pain. Me. Maybe that's what balance has always meant. Not 50% good, 50% evil, but understanding every part of yourself and deciding every single day which voice deserves the final word. Because the greatest battle was never between heaven and hell. It has always been inside the human heart. And every sunrise gives us another chance to decide who we're going to be.